all around the world. I'm your friendly neighborhood philosopher, David Wood. And with me now, of course, is the Assyrian encyclopedia himself, Sam Shimon.
Run.
For people who are actually interested in comparative religions and actually call and make claims and challenge, they would know the basics. That's what I meant. No, it doesn't talk about Abraham. Deuteronomy talks about how the law of God came from Sinai and from Seir, and talks about from Paran. And scholars have understood from this that these are talking about the three prophets: Moses, with significance of Sinai; Seir, Mount in Palestine, in reference to Jesus; and Paran, which is from Arabia, Mecca.
What you talking about?
Abraham. Deuteronomy talks about how the law of God came from Sinai.
Oh, please don't embarrass yourself.
These are the 12 princes that Allah, God subhanahu wa ta'ala, promised Abraham that he will have 12 princes, and from there they will spread all over. And indeed, we know, again, based on the Bible, that Hagar and Ishmael were sent and settled in Mecca. And indeed, we know, again, based on the Bible, that Hagar and Ishmael were sent and settled in Mecca.
Not this time.
It never happened.
It's false. It never happened. It's a fake.
What do you mean?
Was it in First Chronicles?
I think it was First Chronicles where Paul says that.
What you talking about, Willis?
I think it was First Chronicles where Paul says that.
Oh, please don't embarrass yourself.
Let me tell you why. Don't call this ad hominem. Listen carefully, guys. This is so profound. So profound. Yeah? Brothers and sisters, this little boy, this little kid, yeah? I'm going to say something, and I'm going to tell you why. He is a weak ones, little ones, untrained ones, college students, boy. Let me tell you why. Brothers and
And that was so profound from the little rat-faced Muslim himself, Mimi Hijab's Muta wife, Ali Dawa. Isn't that just amazing of him? Hello, everyone. It is quite late here in the Eastern Standard Time, so I better not be too loud. I'll probably be waking up my children and possibly even my wife. So if I do wake up my wife, please pray for me, just in case she does beat me. No, I'm just joking. So tonight we had a live stream planned, and we're going to go through a discussion. But before we get into that, of course, we can't go too far into the live stream without blessing the live stream. So how about we get into doing the prayer here first, and we'll move on from there. I pray to you, Father, in the name of your Son and by the power of your Spirit, that you grant God, logic, and I the ability to speak clearly and boldly, to take captive any arguments against your holy scriptures. I pray for the safety of Christians being persecuted in Muslim lands, specifically people like Hatun Tash, who's being arrested, and also having Muslims attempting to take her life. I pray you take care and solve conflicts around the world. I also pray for our brothers and sisters fighting through health problems or mental health issues. I pray you reach down and heal them, Father. Dear God, you know us better than we know ourselves. Please give us the strength to keep striving for you. I'd also like to lift up some of your strong soldiers so that you may keep blessing them and their families. Sister Hatun Tash, daughter of Christ, and Brother Jay from the DCCI Ministries, the biblicist Debit Ray, Prophet Google, Sheikh Umad, Gopal's ministry to the Hindus, Brother Christian Prince, Rob Christian, Al Fadi, David Wood, Jay Smith, Sam Shimon, AK Sniper, Tony Costa, Steve Hussein, Reverend Anthony Rogers, Brother Ask Truth Apologetics, Islam Critiqued, Lloyd DeJong, Somali Christian TV, The Cross and the Crescent, dear brother Bob the Builder, Sister Kay out of London, of course, our sister pro-life Chloe, and our dear brother God Logic from God Logic Apologetics, and any other apologist or polemist not specifically mentioned here. I also ask God that you watch over the women giving birth this year and may their children love you, Lord. And I also ask that you bring Muslims and Hebrew Israelites back home to you. Lastly, I ask that through this stream today, just one comes to know the knowledge of the true triune God. I ask this in the name of your glorious Son, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Also, I want to thank my Lord and Savior for providing me the ability to have an online ministry, because it is an amazing thing to be able to preach the gospel and to shut down these arguments that the Muslims bring up. So I do thank my Lord and Savior, because without his blessing, nothing happens. And next off, I'd like to thank my wife and my children. Of course, this being 12:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, they're still providing the ability for me to do my ministry and do live streams and whatnot. So I thank them very much for the support. And last but not least, I want to thank each and every one of you out there, because again, I say it each week and I'll say it again. Without you guys being here, it'd just be me talking myself, and that wouldn't be very fun at all. So thank you so much. And of course, the only support that I would ever ask for is to go ahead and hit that like button. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button. Click the bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss a live stream. And of course, after the video is done, jump in there, pop some comments into the comment section, just so it helps with the algorithm. Let us get these videos over to the Muslim channels. Also, if the Lord does place it upon your heart to be able to help the ministry financially, you can follow the links in the description. And of course, you can do these super chats and super stickers on YouTube. And of course, you can join as a member on YouTube as well. And with saying that, into today's show, I have a dear brother backstage. I think we all know who he is. He started off as just some young guy from California talking to different people. He then stepped into the Lion's Den at Balboa Park with the sheikh that was getting shahadas left and right. Left and right, the shahadas were coming. And this young man walks up to this sheikh, and in one question, what does the Messiah mean in Islam? This young man destroyed a sheikh, an imam, and hurt a lot of Muslims in the process. That's right, people. He's the sheikh that shakes the sheikhs. That's right, people. He's the reason why we call Uthman ibn Fibn footnote. It is the myth, the man, the legend. It is Mr. God Logic. How you doing, brother Avery?
What's going on, man? Glory to God. Good to be here as usual. And always got to give shout out to the Christ, the one who leads us in every way, shape, and form. Also, shout out to Jai Apologetics and daughter in Christ for helping me with the footnote action. So God bless all the brothers and sisters at work in the kingdom.
Amen, brother. Amen. So I haven't let everybody know exactly why we're having a live stream tonight. Now, the title says God Logic verse 3 Muslims. Who won? What is that? What does that title? What does it mean? What's going on here?
Well, what it means is that there are 3 Abduls who tried to come against the gospel while I was on stage with them on Clubhouse. And we had a discussion, I guess you can call it that. You know how it goes when the Muslims have the green badge, when the Muslims are the moderators and they control the room.
Oh,
you know, you're not really going to be able to talk much or whatever, so it's not going to be much of a discussion. But
I didn't think. Come on now, are you trying to tell me that in Muslim rooms, when they're moderators, they don't give you equal time? Because of course, that's all we hear in our rooms is that if we ever go to a Muslim room, that we would get equal time to talk. That's what they say, right?
That's what they tell us. But No, that's not the case. That's not what happens, and we all know that.
Weirdly enough, while you're having a discussion, and there was 4 people on the stage, there's a in Clubhouse, there's this thing called chat. So people can, if they're not on the panel, they can chat as well. What happened in that room, Mr. Avery?
Well, this usually happens in these Muslim rooms. They will turn the chat off so that I really don't know the point of it, but so that Christians can't engage or talk or put points in or whatever, they turn the chat off. So I don't know. It's weird, man. I don't know why these guys do that. Honestly, I don't. It's weird. I stopped a long time ago trying to figure out how the Muslim brain works.
Now, also, we're not allowed to record rooms that don't have replays on in Clubhouse. That's against Clubhouse rules. But I was in the room, and I was listening to the conversation, and I visually saw the replays on. Did you visually see the replays on as well?
The replays are on.
And I didn't even record it. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch the replay of Mr. God Logic versus X Planet DA. And as the names pop up here, we'll get to them. Do you remember who the?
Yeah, there was a guy named Rodeo who didn't add anything to the discussion, just was cheerleading, I guess. And then Eminem came up, who you guys will see ended up agreeing with my point.
Yeah, this is hilarious. All right, so let's get this going. I'm about 4 minutes in. I may be too far, but we'll pick up from here. And if we went too far, when we pause it, we'll give a little background on what's going on.
I think it's funny. It's a nice little twist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to know, like, if I read the Bible today, will I ever find a verse that promotes you to lie? Yes, I will. Romans 3:7. So I believe Christians are commanded and are justified to lie to others, non-Christians. Romans 3:7. For how does it go? You have it memorized, I'm pretty sure, right? Let me try and read it for you.
Yeah, how does it go? Can you read that?
Okay. But if through my lie, God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner? Hallelujah.
Can you read the next verse?
No. That verse is sufficient. Do you not believe the Bible?
If you're talking, you're muted.
Whoops, sorry. I was muted. I muted just so that it didn't have any echo coming through. But Mr. Avery, if we were to discuss with a Muslim and we quoted a verse from the Quran, would they ask us to place that verse in context? Or would they be like, no, okay, let's just deal with that one verse alone? What
Not only will they tell us to deal with the verse in context, they will tell us to get it in Arabic. And then after we get it in Arabic, they would actually tell us to go to the tafsir. And after we get the tafsir, they will say, no, you'll need to check the jurisprudence on this and see what the hadiths say. Once we get the hadith, they'll say, no, you need to get a mutawatir hadith. Once we get, and it goes on and on and on.
To find the fiqh book and everything else that it's written in. And it, of course, it has to be by a scholar that actually adheres to the exact same thing that they do. Because if it's a scholar that they don't agree with, that bus is coming, right? So I just wanted to pause it there just for a second. I just wanted to point out that Muslims have no problem, especially X-Planet, being like, nope, let's isolate this one verse and let's discuss it. But just before we do go on, what we are discussing is Romans chapter 3. Isn't that correct, Mr. Godlogic?
That is correct.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Romans chapter 3 here, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. And we're actually going to go ahead and we'll read it so we can all understand the verse, and then we will see what the idiot X Planet is actually trying to say. All right, so let's go down to verse 7 here. All right, so it says, but if through my lie God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still condemned as a sinner? Would you like me to read the next verse, Mr. Godlogic?
Sure.
And it says, why not do evil that good may come, as some people slanderously charge us with saying their condemnation is just. So here we have it, people. The two verses in question. Of course, only one verse was read, but those are the ones that's going on. So now that we've actually read the verse that's going on, let's go ahead and hear how X Planet it's an eisegesis, correct? What he's going
that is correct. I mean, can does that even count as an eisegesis? Like, there has to be an even wrong way to eisegete a text.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, it's all right. Get ready, people. I don't think there's going to be any shahadas today, but there may be a lot of laughing.
Yeah, I gave up on that.
Oh, is that what we do? We just read in isolation?
Well, what context would, justify that? But if through my lie, all the same. But if through
Do you even know
my
what he's
lie,
talking about?
Yeah, he's justifying his lie.
What's he talking about?
Bringing people into his faith, right?
So he says, right in the next verse, he says, and why not do evil that good may come, as some people slanderously charge us with saying their condemnation is just. So these are things that people are slandering the apostles of saying, like you.
What does that have to do with the context of the verse? What does that have anything to do with the verse?
I just told you. The context of the verse is that people are accusing the apostles of saying these things.
God logic. What does that have to do with the verse in question?
Nothing. It has what is context, Chris Claus? What is context? The heck is that? Context is haram.
I thought that was so funny. The very next verse in the chapter has nothing to do with the verse just before it.
He thought we were reading the Quran, Chris.
Oh,
that's usually how the Quran goes.
I took a drink of my coffee and I almost spit it out when he said that, because I wasn't in there for the very start of it. I come in after you guys started talking for a bit, so I missed that one. Like, how could he be so stupid to say that? Like, it's the very next verse. Like, it's not a whole complete different chapter. All right. Sorry about that. Let's get back to it.
Did that justify him lying?
He's not saying that he's lying. He's saying that the people say that they're lying.
But if through my lie, God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still...
But he says, but if through my lie, God's truth abounds to his glory. Did he continue the verse?
No, he stopped there. He stopped right there.
Weird that he would only quote half the verse. I just wanted to point that out.
Being condemned as a sinner. So essentially,
haters are in the club.
I'm gonna lie, but if it makes God look good, if it makes the gospel spread, if it makes Christianity look good, why am I being condemned as a sinner? What context?
No, that's not
what
what you're
context you provided that justifies this? Because I still don't see the context.
Look, I know that you like. I know that you're against Christianity, against the Bible. I know that, but like,
I love you as a Christian.
No, I'm not saying you have anything against Christians.
Showing you that whenever I bring something, you want to change the topic. Now you want to make it personal.
No, we're on the same topic.
Why you gotta bring up who I love and hate? That has nothing to do with the context.
I didn't bring up any person. I said I know that you're against the Bible and against Christianity.
Against Christianity, not Christians. The Bible.
Yeah,
the Bible.
All right, so before we get too far into the back and forth here, because this happens quite a bit, because Ex-Planet's just too stupid to hold his tongue. What we're talking about here in Romans chapter 3, Mr. Godlogic, correct me if I'm wrong, but the argument that he's using is that when he reads the verse in Romans chapter 3, verse 7, he reads it as if Paul is saying that it's okay to lie to bring people into your faith. Correct?
That is his point. Yeah, that's his point. By the way, Chris, people are saying that it's a little low. Well, at least X Planet's voice is a bit low. So if you can turn it up somehow, I don't know if you can, but yeah, if you can, turn that volume up when you play that. But yeah, that's his argument. That's their argument. The argument is that Paul is promoting lying for the sake of the religion, like Allah does and Muhammad.
So I just want to point this out, and this is the text that I sent to Avery. When we're looking at this verse and it says, "But if through my lie God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner?" This is a response because people are saying that he's lying. Because in verse 8, that's what it actually says, that people are charging them slanderously with this. So the example that I give God Logic, of course, and I'll give now, is if I called God Logic a thief because he was going to steal a bank because he wanted to be rich. And then God Logic's refutation to that was, but if I'm a thief and I robbed a bank, where's all my money? Why am I broke? Right? So if he's saying, why am I broke? He's not saying it's a refutation to the slanderous charge against the apostles. So instead of this idiot Muslim understanding the verse, he's trying to say that Paul's saying that we can lie for the faith to bring people to the faith. But what Paul's actually saying is people are calling them liars, and he's and things to this nature. And he's saying, but if I'm doing this, how am I still a sinner? Like, how am I still this, right? So it's a refutation to these people. And this is exactly what God Logic tries to tell these people, right?
That's what I try.
All right, let's see if I don't know if I got the volume up anymore, but I can't turn the volume up on Clubhouse. It was probably because X Planet had just a low mic in Clubhouse. So next time I'm in a room and X Planet's talking, I'm going to tell him to speak up a little bit. So when we do the live stream, the viewers are allowed can hear him a little bit better. So I'll take that into consideration next time, and I'll let X Planet know to speak up a little bit. All right, let's see God Logic smash him.
Exactly what I
The
said.
Bible, I as a Muslim, I will agree there are some remnants of truth, but just like a well with urine, somebody urinating in it, it is not pure well to drink from, right? So I don't take this book as a reliable source of information. But again, what does that have to do with the verse?
I'm literally, if you just stop cutting me off, you'll let me finish my sentence. You'll see what I'm saying.
I was responding to you. Because you changed the
I
topic.
would.
To the
Oh my
deviation.
goodness.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So when I read the Quran and I bring my objections up
What does
against
that
it,
have to do with the verse?
I'm literally just talking, bro. Come on, let me talk.
Romans 3:7. Go back to that.
We already answered the verse,
didn't
bro.
answer
You're gonna
the
have your
verse.
opinion. My thing is that
didn't answer the verse.
I will never misrepresent the Quran the way you misrepresent the Bible.
Okay, I'm giving you the chance to correct my misrepresentation.
I already did.
How?
I already did.
Who's lying in the verse?
I already did.
But if through my lie, God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner?
Okay.
How did you solve that problem?
There is no problem.
Yes.
You're making a problem where there's not a problem. So like for example, verse 5 says, but if our unrighteousness serves to show the righteousness of God, what shall we say?
So he's justifying
that God
sinners.
is unrighteous. Let me finish, please. That God is unrighteous to inflict wrath on us. I speak in a human way. So he's figuratively speaking in man's way, not in a
Did he
spiritual
say
way,
through my
not with understanding.
unrighteousness makes God's righteousness?
Let's keep going, please.
So he justified sinning in that verse as well. So he's
Hold on,
justifying
let's
sinning.
keep going, please.
Keep going, and then explain to us the
Let's keep
context of
going,
verse
please.
7.
So he doesn't justify
It
sinning,
absolutely does.
and then he says by no means. So is that justifying the sinning, or is
Read
he
it
saying
again.
no? You're not
Read
supposed
it
to do
again.
that.
Read it again.
No problem. But if our unrighteousness
Whose unrighteousness?
serves to show the
unrighteousness?
righteousness of
Whose
God,
unrighteousness?
what shall we say?
Wait, slowly,
Let me finish
slowly.
let me finish the verse, please. Let me finish the verse, please. You're not.
Notice the Muslims, when they come into the Christian room, they say that they never get to speak, that the Christian's always interrupting them. But if we went to Muslim rooms, we would get our free time to speak without being spoken over. So it seems to me like X Planet allowed you to speak here, Mr. Godlogic. Is that what was going on?
Oh, well, what was going on is it was in straight panic mode. That's what was going on. Literally straight panic mode. That's where you get the motor mouth. I could like picture him foaming at the mouth, like he's drooling a little bit. That's how much, how frantic he is. He can't stop. So it's just words coming out,
Oh, it was bad. And the part when you started reading, I think it was verse 5. And like you got like halfway through the verse, and he's like, "There you go, sinning." Like he really showed himself
justifying sinning.
Yeah, justifying sinning again. Like, but then, like, if you read these verses in concession with one another, you would just sit there. You would just see how stupid this kid truly is. Like, he's speaking before he's even thinking, and he's not listening to what Avery's saying. But and that's half the thing here. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to highlight this, because X Planet is a lot of people think that he's this big Muslim, one of the top Muslims on Clubhouse that do the debating and things to that nature.
Do the Muslims think that?
I've heard a few Christians say, "Can you come and deal with X Planet?" I've got a lot of Christians message me and saying, "Can you come and do like?" So that some of them are viewing him as like being, because, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's one reason why I wanted, like, literally. That's I laugh. I laugh when I see it, and then I have to send them the message back, of course, right? And it's like, I'm sorry. I would love to come and help you refute this guy. Can you give me what his argument is in the chat? And I'll give you the answer in this chat, because I can't see the room. Because we all know that he usually has me blocked. I'm not sure why he didn't hear. Unless he unblocked me.
He wanted us to
recently.
come in. That's why he wanted us to come in.
That's probably what it was. I'm probably back on the block list. I bet you if I clicked the link, I bet you I wouldn't be able to see this link in Clubhouse. Neither would you. That's right. All right. So let's get back to this. Let's watch this Panic in Motion.
No, you don't want to learn, bro. You don't want to learn.
Who's unrighteous?
No, you don't.
Bro,
so if our unrighteousness serves to show the righteousness of God, what shall we say? That God is unrighteous to inflict wrath on us? I speak in a human way. By no means. No. For then how could God judge the world?
Okay.
But if through my lie, and he's still speaking in the human way, with no understanding, and with the people, the way that people, the way that they slander them, the way that they slander them. But if through my lie, God's truth abounds.
I can't answer any question. It's just a clarification.
But if through my lie, God's truth abounds to His glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner? And why not do evil that good may come?
Thank you. I read it too.
As some people slanderously charge us with saying.
Who is speaking in the verse?
So did you see that people are slandering them with saying these things?
Who was speaking in the verse?
I've been laughing this whole time. I can't believe it. I just want to point out what Avery was doing there, and I think that everybody actually saw. He knew that he was just going to keep getting interrupted anyway. So he he would pause at that one word and he would pick up at the next word and keep reading until he got interrupted. He would pause at that word, pick up at the next word until he finished reading it. That was brilliant, man. I couldn't stop laughing at that. That was hilarious. Oh wow, wow. All right, we got to give a shout out. Thank you so much, brother Scott.
Hey,
Big brother Scott in the house. Thank you so much for the support, brother. He says, God bless you guys. God bless you as well, big brother. He says, X Planet is a troll and he gets no right shoulder privileges. That's right, people. He gets no right shoulder privileges. He gets put back on left shoulder privileges. When he gets coming, when he comes in with a friend into our room, his friend gets the right shoulder privileges. X Planet don't get those privileges anymore. And for those people that don't know what we're speaking about, on Adam's left shoulder, he created the black people and he brushed them off into the hellfire. And on the right shoulder, he created the white people and he brushed them off into the paradise. So he doesn't get those right shoulder privileges no more in the room.
nope.
No more. And hey, hashtag let my left shoulder go. Free the Njasha. Free the Njasha. All right, let's continue.
The question. Paul is
speaking.
speaking.
Now,
Thank
can you answer my question?
Thank you.
Now, can you
Now,
answer my
since
question?
Paul is speaking,
Wait,
he's
X.
the one who's saying,
I answered your
he's
question. Can you
saying
now
that
answer
if
mine?
through my lie, so is Paul lying?
Can you answer my question now?
How? Since we haven't even gotten through the verse. We're doing
Can you
the
answer my
verse
question
step by
now?
step. We're doing a step by step on the
Yeah,
verse.
step by step. Does he
So
does he
whose lie
say
is whose
does he
lie is
say
he
that
talking
he's
about?
speaking in a human way or is he speaking literally?
Wait. So is Paul half human, half God?
Yeah.
What?
So this is
Yeah.
this is the type of this is the type of joking. This is the type of
You said he's speaking in a
silliness
human.
that it.
Now, I wanted to pause it here. So I'm gonna get these shout outs here first, and then I gotta get to you, Mr. God Logic, because I think you're gonna have a clip on that one. Thank you so much, Jesus, my Lord, for the support for the ministry. God bless you so much. Also, the Nay2 out there, thank you so much. God bless you as well. Thank you so much for the support. And the Nay2 says, God Logic, I want to see Sheikh Uthman ibn Fibin footnote join you in a live stream, 1v1 conversation. I hope in the future he would join. That'd be
Do
interesting.
not hold your breath for that. That'll never happen.
Yeah. I don't hold your breath because you're a dear brother, and we'd hate to lose you so quickly because that ain't never gonna happen.
It's
Ain't
never
never
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen. So what happened here? I caught what happened here, and I think everybody else caught what happened here. But I think God Logic just got clipped, and he's probably on TikTok by now. If not, he's gonna be on TikTok later. So X Planet said, "Is Jesus half God and half man?"
No, Paul. It's Paul.
Or Paul, half God and half man. And you said what right after that? What was your first words?
The first word that came out of my mouth was a yeah, but not a yeah to his question.
Exactly. It was a yeah to continue the conversation, right? So can you explain that now? Because I think that's going to be a clip.
I don't think I need to explain it. Like if you just like play it.
All right. Hey, we go back here just a second.
Just hit that 15 second mark. I think
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Does he say that he's speaking in a human way or is he speaking literally?
Wait. So is Paul half human, half God?
Yeah.
What?
So this is the type of this is the type of joking. This is the type of
You said he's speaking in a
silliness
human
that it comes
form.
with your arguments,
You said
dude.
Paul is speaking in a human form.
Hey, X, do I have permission to use this on my stream?
Listen, you said Paul is speaking in a human form.
No, I said a human way.
Human way, human form, human way. Paul is speaking
No,
in a
it's
human
not the
way.
same way as form. I said human
Or
way.
does
Do
he
not
have a
flip my words,
divine?
please.
Does he have a divine?
No, just
form as well?
really quick. Is it okay if I use this on my stream?
Can you answer the question again?
I already answered
haven't.
multiple of your questions. You're not willing to answer my question.
You haven't.
Why
Is
can't you answer my
Paul-
question?
Paul partially divine?
Why can't you answer my questions?
I know you're afraid, man. Just answer the question.
I know.
You keep saying that.
I get it.
Keep saying
You're
that.
not. You're not.
Speaking
You.
in a human way.
I mean, it's been a long
So
time
he's
since you
talking
dealt
about.
with me, so I know you're probably not used to people
lying.
holding you to the water.
Talking about lying in a human way. You believe he's half more divine? What is this human way that you brought up?
Got it. So, is he speaking in a human way, or is he speaking
According
literally?
to you, you said he's speaking in a human way. So is there a difference between
Okay, so
a literal
all right,
way
so
and a
no,
human way?
not according to me.
Wait, there's
You
a
read the
difference.
verse. Hold on, X,
Bro,
please,
is there a
X.
difference
Let's have a
between
conversation.
I know. So hear
Let's
me
have a
out.
conversation,
I'm holding
X.
you to what you said.
Yeah,
You brought up
let's have a
literal.
conversation.
You brought up literal,
Read
and you brought up
the
human
verse,
way. Is there a
X.
difference
Explain
between
it.
talking in a human way
X.
and a literal way?
Read
That's
the
the question.
verse. Does it say that he's speaking in a human way?
You brought that up. According to the verse, it says this. But if
No,
through
I'm
my
asking you
lies,
if you can read
God's
the verse
truth
and see it. Like if you
announces
can read.
glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner? Again, ladies and gentlemen, you can't have a discussion with these kind of people. No logic in
Yeah,
this camp.
that's right.
They
You
can't
cannot
answer
have
questions.
you cannot
They
have
make up
a
things.
conversation with
You
people
hold
like
them to what they say. They don't want to deal with it. He's bringing up, he's talking in a human way. What the hell does that mean? Does Paul have two natures?
good.
Can you just simply answer that
So
question?
X, does the verse say that he's speaking in
The
a human
verse
way?
says, but if through my lie, God's
Hey, there's Danny.
announced his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner? That's what the verse says.
And then what does he say right after that? Does he say that people slander?
Why did
Does
you
he
bring
say?
up? Why did
Does
you
he
bring
say
up
that this is
human
what
way?
people?
Wait. Before you talk
X.
about something else,
Does
why
he
did you
say?
bring
So
up?
notice how you can't
Why
answer a
did you
question,
bring
X.
up? No, because I'm holding you to what you said.
Notice
Why
how
did
you
you bring
cannot
up?
answer a question because
Why
you're
did you
afraid.
bring?
How did Danny get up there so early?
He got up there and he's about to disappear because Rose was just there too, and she just disappeared.
Yeah, so he's about to disappear. I want to thank Mr. DJ Salam Amasi, my original Quran only Christian brother, DJ. Thank you so much for the support. He says, why are they panicking so hard? God bless you guys. Amen. You can see how bad X Planet is in panic mode right now. It's because like every every word that Avery says, he's got to speak over him. But again, remember, guys, Muslims say that we never give them a chance to speak in our rooms. But if we go to their rooms, there's equal amounts of time, and they're so respectful as moderators, and it shows, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got to get back to this conversation because you're cooking them right now.
To have a
Him talking
discussion.
about a human way. Why did
You
you
are
bring up?
afraid
Is
to
he
answer
talking?
discussions.
Hey,
Why
go.
did you bring up?
Maybe you should
see, I'm
bring
not
up
muting
somebody
you.
else who can actually
See
answer
how
some
I'm not muting
questions.
you. See, I'm not muting you because you're able to speak. You're able to dialogue.
I'm not able to speak.
And I'm
You're
willing.
cutting
I'm
me off
willing
at
to
every
answer.
turn, X.
I'm willing to answer your question. See,
Hey, God Logic, do you notice that he's not muting you and that he's giving you equal amount of time to speak?
Right, he's letting me speak freely and openly, Chris.
That's right. Just
With no interruptions.
he just speaking over top of you. That's all.
Yeah.
how you
Okay, go ahead.
change the topic. You brought up, in the verse, he's speaking in a human way. I never heard that about, disciples of Jesus. Are you saying that he has a human way of speaking, then he has a divine way of speaking?
What the verse is saying is that there is there's a like a flesh type of reality and a spiritual type of reality. Where you have like a human understanding of things as opposed to a spiritual understanding of things.
Are you referring to us as the readers of the Bible, people who are reading the Bible? So, for example, some people have the Holy Spirit, and some people they have no Holy Spirit, so they read in a different way. Are you talking about us, or are you talking about Paul when he's writing?
I'm talking about the people that Paul is addressing. He's addressing and he's answering slanderous claims against him. And he's mimicking it. Explain. Why are you cutting me off? You wanted an answer, right? He's addressing the slanderous claims of people coming against him and the rest of the apostles. And they are slandering them, saying, why not just commit sin if it brings God glory? Why not lie if it shows God's truthfulness? And he's saying that this is a human way of understanding things, and these are the slanderous things that they accuse us of saying. He literally says that.
I just want to pause it just a second. Darcy, God bless you, sister. Love you. Have a good night. All right, back to her.
You made that up.
So
according to the verse, Paul is not speaking about other people. He's speaking of himself.
Okay, no problem. Is it okay if I just read verses 5 to 8 with no interruption?
You already did that. But you already
Okay,
did
let me
that.
just do it one more time, please.
No,
One
you
more time.
already
Is
did
that okay?
You already did that. You already spoke about the unrighteousness, and I believe in that verse he's justifying sinning. But now
Yeah.
I'm at this part of
Yeah,
the
no.
verse.
Let me
At
just
this part of
read
the
it.
verse,
Yeah.
you're acting as if he's answering people's questions. But again,
Yeah.
there's no answering of questions. He's speaking of
Well,
himself.
let's see.
He's speaking of himself. But if through my lie, God's truth abounds to His glory, why am I still being abandoned as a sinner, or condemned as a sinner? I mean, so is he justifying that? Okay, if we make basically, elevate God, elevate the gospel, then there's no issue in lying to do so. That's a simple question. I promise
So
you,
this,
we'd ask your questions next.
all right,
You can go
I
on to
literally
your
already
questions.
answered that question,
You
but you just
seriously
said that
haven't. You brought up more
you said that AX, I literally just listened to you. So, and I have no problem listening to you. So I answered your question, and you said that I made up my answer. So I want to read it to you as this, okay? But if our unrighteousness, verse 5, serves to show the righteousness of God, what shall we say? That God is unrighteous to inflict wrath on us? I speak in a human way. By no means. For then how could God judge the world? But if through my lie, continuing to speak in a human way, God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner? And why not do evil that good may come, as some people slanderously charge us with saying? Their condemnation is just.
Okay, so can you explain verse 7? I still don't see the
I
answer to
literally,
verse
I
7.
don't know how many times you want me to
He's
repeat
like
that.
a kid.
So for verse 7,
That's literally like this is like me talking to my 6-year-old son. It's like, son, you can't have the cookie. And he looks at me, he's like, Dad, so that means I can have the cookie. I'm like, no, son, you can't have the cookie. And he looks me dead in the eye and he's like, so Dad, that means I can have the cookie. I'm like, no. Like this is literally what's happening here. You're telling
Yeah.
him the opposite thing, and he's like, so you're saying the opposite.
Yeah. That's usually what happens with Muslims on this extreme level. But this is Islam, man. This is Islam. This is how they are. This is the cake of Islam, man.
All right, let's get it.
Your response is this: you're saying that people came to Paul and they accused Paul of, were they accusing Paul of being a liar?
Yep.
They were.
I'm saying that people are accusing Paul, not just Paul and the disciples, because you asked me what I'm saying. I'm saying that not just Paul, but the other disciples that preach this message of the gospel.
Okay, I got it.
They are
Thank you.
accusing
They're accusing
they
him
are
of being a liar.
accusing Paul and the disciples. They are accusing Paul and the disciples of making these type of statements to, why not just lie? Why not just commit unrighteousness and things of this nature? And Paul is calling them out as liars.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Why wasn't it sufficient?
That's not what Paul said. He's not calling them out.
No, not at all.
You're breaking up.
This is what we call being in the matrix.
X, you breaking up, brother, real bad.
He forgot to say Bismillah.
Terrible.
I think Jabril was just choking his connection. He was getting tired of him.
Yes, sir.
But now,
Try to give him some wahi.
okay.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it enough for Paul to come out, open and say, no, we are men of God. I am inspired by God. I'm led by the Holy Spirit. I am not lying, nor should you lie, but this is against the commandment. Why couldn't he outright just say that? If he's being accused of lying, why doesn't he come out and say openly, no, you shouldn't lie?
Yeah, why couldn't Allah openly come out and say in Surah 65:4 that it's the girls that have this type of issue where they menstruate at like 30 years old,
Right.
and not like 9 years old, because that's the way the Muslims interpret 65:4. So why wouldn't Allah just say it that way? What an idiotic argument.
You're dumb. Just a dummy.
Oh,
brutal.
But instead, he comes out and says, but if through my lie, admits he's lying, admits it, but if through my lie, God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner?
But if I walked outside, oh, You just walked outside. You admitted you walked outside. But if I walk outside, oh my God, you just admitted you walked outside. What an idiot.
Oh man.
See the confusion there?
No, I don't.
No, I mean, of course you don't. Of course you don't. You know,
I think your question's been answered. I don't think you have anywhere else to go with the verse.
The room title is flooded. I'm just going. You know, I'm gonna just say right here, right now. The room title.
X, you're breaking up really bad.
Okay.
But we cannot hear you at all, bro.
He's about to
I
hear
know
some
it's
bells.
my bad. All I was saying is, again, you have not explained the verse. You had to lie, just like the room title said. Without lies, Christianity died.
You said I had to lie.
You did. You lied.
What did I
You're
lie
breaking
about?
up, brother.
Like,
You're breaking up, brother.
his God
are you
hates
a
him so
Muslim?
much. He
Kid?
like
Are you a
killing
Muslim?
that internet
I am,
connection.
alhamdulillah. But I
Awesome.
was gonna ask
You've been
one last
listening to this
question.
conversation. No, just real quick. You've been listening to like this back and forth with me and X.
What did he say he was?
He said he's a Muslim. Alhamdulillah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't catch that. I was gonna say if he said he was anything else, in the recordings after we left, I know he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
Because the way he was talking. All right. So at least he didn't lie.
Did I lie about anything that I said according to you? What you've heard?
I was gonna ask you a question. So you're saying in that verse, what was the verse again that you were
It's
bringing up?
it's Romans chapter 3, verses 5 to 8. Maybe a third party will be able to give us another opinion on that. He's saying I didn't answer him or deal with the verse or anything like that.
That's right. God Logic done took over the room, people.
I just
No,
need a
you
third
did
party.
the Christian shuffle.
Okay.
Okay. Here's my question. In that verse, he's talking about how this, and you're saying that he was talking about they were saying him and the disciples were lying, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Now, in my study, because I grew up on the Bible, the only one I seen was
Pause
lying.
it. Another, ladies and gentlemen, another Muslim that grew up on the Bible, that was raised on the Bible. Another Muslim. Yeshua. All right, let's continue.
I was almost waiting for him to say he went through seminary.
I was waiting to hear him to say that he is an ex-pope.
That's usually the way it comes out at us.
Right. Yeah.
Where in this verse do you see that Paul is lying?
I can take you to another verse where he was lying up and down. And why did he have to take the Nazarene vow?
Well, the kid. So that's another discussion. But I'm just asking about this particular verse that X brought up. I don't want him to say that we're going off, what he brought up. So let's not go anywhere else. So with this, he said,
I'm right here.
Just real quick, X. I understand.
Engage with me on this verse?
I understand. I'm just saying we've engaged. So I'm asking a third opinion. So like with this verse here, X is saying that Paul is promoting lying. He's teaching to lie for the religion. And obviously you heard my explanation along with the verses. So I want your third opinion as an honest person who's just reading the text with no bias. Is it the case that Paul himself is promoting lying, or is he addressing the accusations against him and the other apostles for promoting lying to, show God's truth, or commit sin to show God's righteousness? Or is he going against that type of idea?
I'm reading the Bible. Give me a second. Let me read it again.
All right, no problem. Can you turn the chat on, X?
No, I cannot. Because I want you to engage in the conversation. I want you to be focused.
Oh, now I get it. God Logic, he turned the chat off for you. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's it.
What a nice guy X Planet is. He didn't want to distract God logic. He just wanted, no, you lying little snake. You just didn't want anybody exposing and laughing at you in the chat because you knew how stupid you truly were, X-Planet.
Exactly.
I'm very focused. You have all my attention.
Anyone who opens this verse and reads it, he's basically asking,
Hey,
do the
Marlos.
ends not justify the means? If his simple actions result in giving God his glory, he thinks, his actions should be justified. That is evident from the verse above. You could read it on your own. You don't need to do some hula hoops for this.
Okay. All right, Rabbi.
All right.
I'm reading it, and as I'm looking at it, being unbiased, even as a person who's looking at it, he is doing the ends justifying the means. In my honest opinion, I'm not doing this under Muslims, but as a person, even if I was a Christian, when you read this and you sit there at totality, he's trying to justify what he's doing.
Okay, so but is he promoting or justifying lying or committing sins in order to bolster the religion?
No, he's justifying his way of lying to promote the religion, because you have to remember. Hold on, you have to remember when you look at the situation. He's saying, "Is it wrong for me to do?"
That don't make sense to me. You said, is he lying to promote the religion? And he said no. But he's using his lie to promote. Like, did you Can you straighten that out?
I think what he's saying is that he's not telling other people to go out and lie for the religion, but he's justifying his own self lying for the religion. So no one else could do it, but I did it, and here's the reason why it was okay for me to do it.
Okay, I see. He just don't know what he's talking about either. Then
yeah, I'm sorry, Chris. You got to like really deep into the stupidity of Muslims to understand how their mind works. So I know that you can't go that deep in stupidity, but God is still working on me. So somehow I still have that skill.
Promoting Christ's kingdom.
Okay, can you read verse 5 for us?
Give me a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you. I mean, it's a circle. He's wanting to do the circle. I'll allow it one more time. Do the whole circle again. But come on, we see it. It's clear. It's clear for the audience. It's clear. The end justify the means. He's talking about himself. If he's a man of God, led by the Holy Spirit,
repeating his words.
All right, they're accusing him. The congregation is accusing him.
He's agreeing with his buddy now.
It is not for a believer in Christ, a follower of the Messiah, to be liars. We do not break the commandments. Lying is not okay. Being unrighteous, not okay. And God forgive us if we ever lie. God forgive us if we're ever unrighteous. Straight up refutes them.
Okay. Can you go ahead and read verse 5 for us, the kid?
But if our unrighteousness serves to show the righteousness of God, what shall we say? That God is unrighteous to inflict wrath of us. I speak in a human way.
All right, pause there. So is he like speaking literally, or is he speaking in a way that a fallen man would understand such things?
What the hell does that mean?
Speak.
Assalamu alaikum.
What do you mean?
Oh, I got to pause this and get Scott in here before we get to this clown rodeo. Oh, he's a clown. But thank you so much, dear brother Scott, for the support. And he says here, the kid is an ultimate left shoulder. Yes, that is true. He is an ultimate left shoulder. I would agree with that one, brother Scott. Oh, hilarious. Peter says, how many Muslims know Paul is a messenger of Allah? Quran 36:14. Ibn Kathir. Yes, sir. Bulis is a prophet, or not a prophet, but a messenger.
I mean, by fallen man, is Paul like an angel? Why are you comparing him like fallen angel? Your fallen man.
I would like to hear the kid's response to that.
It was a clarification question, though. What do you mean by fallen man?
I've already explained that to you.
There you have it. What does fallen man mean biblically? I've never heard that before. Fallen man.
I think he's trying to say a man that's within sin. So basically, you're trying to say Paul is basically using this as using unrighteousness to serve righteousness. Correct? That
He's
even though
asking.
he's a man of sin, he's still doing it the right way. He's
No.
using sin to promote the that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm looking at it as.
Okay. So when he says, but if our unrighteousness serves to show the righteousness of God, what shall we say, that God is unrighteous to inflict wrath on us? I speak in a human way. And then verse 6, what does he say to answer this question? What does he say in verse 6?
So you're saying, so you're basically saying,
So you're basically saying, like he's reading the
So
verse.
you're saying,
Go back 15
he's
seconds.
speaking in a human way.
Go
He's
back
saying,
to go back to my question.
saying,
Go back 30.
Verse 6, what does he say to answer this question? What does he say?
Go back one more time. One more time.
Righteousness serves to
righteousness, correct? That
he's asking,
even though he's a man of sin, he's still doing it the right way. He's
no.
using sin to promote the that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm looking at it as.
Okay. So when he says, but if our unrighteousness serves to show the righteousness of God, what shall we say, that God is unrighteous to inflict wrath on us? I speak in a human way. And then verse 6, what does he say to answer this question? What does he say in verse 6?
Crickets, crickets, crickets.
Listen.
So you're saying, so you're basically saying, hold on.
So God logic. So you're basically saying, huh. Hold on here. Hold on a second.
Oh,
let me get myself together now.
Chris, this only is rocket science to Muslims. Only. This is only confusing to Muslims. Only. Only them. Only them do these things just become completely incomprehensible. Seriously. It's only them.
Like he's sitting there and in real time trying to come up with a lie, but isn't able to in real time.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Thank you so much, brother DJ, for the support. He says, try to figure out how to get out of this one. No, he did. He did get out of this. Tried to figure out how to get out of this one. Right? He's like, huh. That's how
So
he's gonna get out of it.
What you saying, Chris? What you saying? Huh.
Well,
Huh.
Oh. We gotta hear that. We gotta hear that again. Oh.
God, what shall we say, that God is unrighteous to inflict wrath on us? I speak in a human way. And then verse 6, what does he say to answer this question? What does he say in verse 6?
Anybody hear an answer yet? No. I mean,
so you're saying, so you're basically saying,
and it's the way that he said it too. You know, he's literally looking at the text, and he's like,
You know, I can like picture his face, like doing one of these. Like when you're asked a question and you know the answer, but you don't want to say the answer. He's doing one of these, like, huh?
Oh yeah,
looking up, looking up, thinking, trying to find that answer. Like, oh, I could see that face, man.
That was the hand caught in the cookie jar face right there.
So what you saying is, what you trying to say is, huh? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, let's keep going. DJ says thanks for the stream, Chris.
Us?
Saying to promote the that's what I'm saying. That's
I
what I'm
had to.
looking at it
One
as.
more time, everyone.
Okay.
One more
So when
time.
he says, "But if our unrighteousness serves to show the righteousness of God, what shall we say? That God is unrighteous to inflict wrath on us? I speak in a human way." And then verse 6, what does he say to answer this question? What does he say in verse 6?
So you're saying, so you're basically saying, hold on. So you're saying, even though he's speaking in a human way, he's saying basically, even though I sin, I'm still doing it for the grace of God, correct?
No. Again, this is a question that
All of that, and he still got it wrong. Oh my God.
Let my left shoulders go, man.
Hashtag let my left shoulder go.
is rising up amongst people who don't understand these spiritual things. This is why he says, I'm speaking in a human way. This is how these people who are bringing these statements up, these accusations up, he's speaking rhetorically. He's not speaking of himself. He's speaking rhetorically. This is a rhetorical question, and he answers this rhetorical question. He's like, should we sin to show the righteousness of God? Right? Should we just sin to show the righteousness of God? And what is his answer in verse 6?
By no means.
By no means.
Bam.
So he says, no, absolutely not. Right? But X
All right,
here,
keep reading.
X
Keep reading.
X
No, no, no,
here,
no,
X
no.
here.
Wait,
Just
wait,
one
wait,
second,
wait,
one second. I'm
wait,
going step by step
X
with the debate. I'm going
no,
step
no.
by step with the debate.
Oh, look who's coming to the rescue. Look who's coming off his mic now, Chris.
You done hit a nerve on that one, Mr.
Uh-oh.
He was jumping into defensive mode so quick. He's like, whoa, nope, quit talking. He's almost going to agree with you. I got to jump in here.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did agree. He agreed that so far with that part, and then now X had to jump in. Well, no, read the next one. No, read the next verse. Oh, no, read the next. Muslims, man.
All right, let's see.
Like you said. Yeah, we will.
Keep
We will.
reading.
We will.
Keep
We will.
reading.
We will.
Keep reading.
We will.
No logic is gonna keep reading.
Absolutely.
Keep reading.
Well, then,
Okay, read it right now.
X, slow down. So good.
Read
So
the
the
next
kid.
verse. Read the next verse.
So
No.
notice, I am
Do the
explaining.
next verse. The first verse talking about unrighteousness.
but if
I
hold
am.
on, but if
So,
through my lie God's
hold
truth
on,
Wait, why are you
kid.
trying to shut him down?
One second. I'm not shutting anything down. We're going step by step, like you said to do.
Do your step by step after.
X Planet's getting it like he lives.
No, but you told me to go step by step earlier.
No. We went through step by step on this specific verse.
I'm trying to go step by step with the kid.
Context of this verse is within the verse. So let's read this verse. Go ahead,
Absolutely, the whole context.
So the kid,
he says
no,
right?
Read the
so
verse.
You're not supposed to do that. I'm trying to continue.
Right?
Explain it. I'm trying to continue. I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay. So by no means.
No.
For
This
them,
is how it goes.
I'm literally reading. I'm literally reading.
No, you're not. You're
God's
back.
truth abounds to
It
his
doesn't.
glory.
It doesn't stop at by no means.
Yes,
Explain
God
it.
logic
It continues.
read.
It goes to verse
But don't
7.
read.
I know. I'm continuing.
But read.
I'm continuing.
But don't read.
Hey. I know this is frustrating. I know it's frustrating. But again, this is part of the pill you have to swallow. You gotta swallow it. You take it like a man. So look.
That's right.
What means? But someone. I mean, which translation should I read?
Yeah, it's another thing that's coming up.
Okay, because I'm reading. If I read NIV, it starts off the discussion. Someone might argue, the other translations read, but if. So that means pause on the last verse, start a new situation. Pause. The last discussion ended, but a new preposition. But someone might still argue, how can God condemn me as a sinner if my dishonesty highlights his truthfulness. This is the NLT.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Yeah.
my dishonesty highlights his truthfulness and brings him more glory,
What the?
Mhm.
How does that make sense? My dishonesty shows his honesty. Does that make sense to you, Mr. Godlogic?
No, it does not.
So
No.
our dishonesty somehow shows God's honesty.
Somehow.
God, he's an idiot. God, he's an idiot.
Straight dummy, man.
Mm-hmm.
explain that to him.
Yeah. Let me break it down with the kids, but slowly, like we just did, verse 5 and 6.
No.
Just as we saw,
don't break it down. Explain that to me, because look,
you just told.
No, because I'm sorry. Like literally, I'm.
Oh, his rodeo now.
The biggest pile of horse crap that I've ever heard. You're completely
I
negating.
agree,
No, sorry, no logic.
I agree.
No logic. You're the one in
I
fault
agree,
here because
Rodeo.
you're trying to twist what the Bible's actually teaching. Are you not?
That's beautiful.
Are you ignoring what 1 Corinthians 9:19-23
Wait,
is saying?
we're not.
No.
You're
trying to cope right now. You're trying to cope.
We're not on First.
No, yeah. You're trying to cope.
We're not on
with
First
Romans.
Corinthians.
You're trying to
We're not on First
cope.
Corinthians.
You're trying to cope with Romans by
We're not-
twisting what it actually
Wait,
means.
hold-
But now you're
explain
going
it.
to throw the rest of the Bible under the bus.
Did I bring?
You're going to throw the rest of the Bible under the bus. You want to throw Paul under the bus, dude?
Explain it. Did I bring this verse up, or did you?
I just want to point out that as of right now, there's 3 Muslims on the stage. There's 1 Christian on the stage. Y'all know there's probably about 8 Christians down in the chat that in the audience that we all got our hands up. I had my hand up for about 40 minutes. I think Mr. Danny Davis, who's in the chat, he can attest that his hand was up. I'm pretty sure Big Brother Scott had his hand up just in case they got him up there. He would have hashtag free RN Josh's. And I'm pretty sure, I think DJ was in the room too. DJ probably would have had his hand up to get up there as well. So we were all sitting there in the audience with our hands up. We weren't allowed to come. Oh, it's too bad. Oh, he wasn't there. All right. So yeah, if he was there, he would have had his hand up too. But yeah, so we all had our hands up and they weren't bringing any of us up. Just want to point that out.
No. Take the verse, but take the whole
Tell
context.
Rodeo.
Don't just pick and choose.
Tell Rodeo, because
This
I'm bringing
continues.
this up, and I'm
This
coping.
continues.
Tell
You are
Rodeo
coping.
that I'm not the
You
one that
are
brought this
coping,
up.
and it's fine. You want to cope. You know.
All right, beautiful.
It's clearly
Rodeo, how
fine.
did you know I was
You'll
going?
become one who is against the law.
All right, Avery. I'm a little old. You got to help out this old timer.
What's up, Chris?
What does he mean by you're coping?
So he's trying to say that I'm making up excuses for the issue that's here with the argument. Basically, the argument is good, and I'm just like trying to, make an excuse for it, try to justify it. So I'm coping.
These kids and the new words that they're using. All right, I'll get into it sooner or later. Let's go.
I love
All
this.
right. I'm gonna reset the room. God logic, or logic, aka listen. Let's calm down. Listen, we're having a peaceful discussion. Let's calm down.
Oh yeah, you sound
You're
so
standing
upset
10
so
toes.
far,
I appreciate
Godlogic.
that.
Yeah.
I respect that you're trying your best to
man.
justify this for your friends and audience. I know they're here for you. I know they're booty clapping down there. But again, you're stuck.
I was waiting for this part. We don't have to booty clap for God Logic. We were there in support of our brother because that's what we do. If a brother of ours is on stage, then we will come into the room and we will show him the support that he needs to have in the room. And we all had our hands up to show our support to be on the stage. We wouldn't have been speaking, but we would have been on the stage. So, unlike the little booty clappers that you have on the stage, X-Planet, because right now, Rodeo seems like he's got his pom-poms in his hand and his little skirt on, and he's just sitting there jumping up and down, swinging his pom-poms, cheering for you right now, X-Planet. So how about you get your clowns to stop booty clapping for you on the panel?
So what Rodeo tried to do is he tried to divert the discussion off of Romans and go to First Corinthians, where Paul says, "To the Jew I became a Jew under the law," yada yada, that type of thing. I became all things to all men. He tried to segue into that, and I told him, I'm not the one who brought this verse up. X is the one who brought this verse up. I was telling X, can you tell Rodeo that I didn't bring this verse up? That this is y'all's argument, not mine. So who's the one coping? Now that you guys are trying to run to another verse. So.
Oh, it's hilarious.
You're stuck. Listen, let me tell you how you're stuck. Verse 6 is addressing verse 5, and verse 7 begins with a new statement. In some translations, someone might argue, he's bringing up a new scenario, but someone might still argue, but if through my lie, a whole new situation has been brought up in this verse. It is not correlated to verse 5 at all. It is not correlated to verse 5 at all. So again, deal with verse.
Hey, now we only got 29 likes. We have over 60 people watching here. We need at least 20 more likes here, people. If y'all hadn't hit that like button, y'all know what's coming. Y'all are secretly kissing that black stone.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Come on now. Let's get that up there. But I'm not going to be like God Logic. We'll continue the live stream.
Better than me.
Is Paul admitting to lying? Through my falsehood enhances God's truthfulness and so increases his glory. Why am I still being condemned as a sinner? Come on, you see it right there. Come on, why you gotta lie like that?
Okay, so I listened to you without interruption.
Go ahead.
So I hope I can get that same respect. Thank you so much, bro. So you are almost correct in that verse 7 brings up another excuse that someone brings up as an argument. Okay, it's all in the same context, but now it's an added excuse. Okay, you just dealt with the first problem, the first one. What about this one now? But if by my lie, right? Now he continues with that problem. So now let's continue. So now we already understand that he's not promoting sin, and he says, by no means are you to commit sin for the religion, to show the goodness of God. No, that's not what you're supposed to do. So I'm glad we have that understanding now. So now going on, more than how could God judge the world? But if through my lie, so he's continuing this type of thinking, is speaking in a human way.
No.
But if through my
scenario,
lie,
right?
because it's another argument that person is bringing up. This rhetorical conversation is happening. It's not him.
It literally
This
is
is rhetorical.
him. It literally is him. He's given the
says,
example of himself.
No, it's not.
If I lie,
No, it's not. No, it is not.
Person.
Goodness
Lord
gracious.
have mercy.
This is crazy.
So that kid. Okay, wait. So since you asked
explain it. You said that I would be able to. You said I'd be able to speak.
You got to.
Of course, he had to jump in. God Logic almost had 40 seconds uninterrupted there. It stopped real quick, but he almost had it there for a bit. I just want to give a shout out. Thank you so much, N.A. Odessa. God bless you. Thank you so much for the support. X-Pope. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, X-Planet is X-Pope. X-Dumb. Still dumb. And I honestly thought that X-Planet may have been somebody worthy of having a debate with. I actually thought it was possible. I thought it might have been because of the way these Christians were messaging me.
What?
Right?
You got to tell me who it is. You got to tell me which Christians was hitting you up talking about, hey, can you help me with this guy? Like, that is just...
Well, it was like certain questions, right? They'll hit you up with certain questions. I know you get it all the time as well. Be like, I was talking to this Muslim and he said this. How would you respond to it?
Okay.
Like, I get those questions all the time.
Yeah.
But I get them from different people. But a lot of them are about X-Planet. Because X-Planet likes to go into different Christian rooms all the time. And that's probably the reason why. But so by reading these messages, I'm like, well, maybe he's somebody that's worthy enough to have a debate with. And then I seen this argument, and I'm sitting in the room and I'm listening to it, and I'm listening to you respond, and you're giving the response, like you're reading the text and just giving the response that the text deserves and demands from the reading of it. And he's like, nope, nope, nope. He's like, you're really that stupid? Like, it seems like he's as illiterate as his prophet.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I was telling you earlier, it's really hard for me to believe that people are that dumb. You know, it really is. Like, there has to be an element of purposeful, willful, you know, rejection. Like, he's just against the truth. He's just against it. So whatever, no matter what you say, no matter how plain it is, he wants to be against. I don't think he's that dumb. I just think he's against it that hard. But maybe I'm giving him too much props. Maybe he is that stupid.
He probably is. He probably is.
Okay.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I saw somebody, I think it was DJ X Tard. I like that. I will never call him X Planet again. His new name has been deemed. He has been ordained as X Tard. That is his name now, ladies and gentlemen, when we go on Clubhouse. No mercy.
There we go. All right, let's continue because I think somebody's about to come up soon.
Get a third person in. Remember?
You said
you were
that I
done
would
speaking
be
to me,
able to
I'm gonna
speak.
get the. You will speak. Let me get the
So
opinion
then
of
why
Da.
are you cutting me off already?
Wait. Listen. You phoned a friend called Da. I'm gonna phone a friend too. Let me.
I didn't phone a friend. He was
You
already on the
literally
stage.
did. That's what I mean. Okay, so Da, I'm gonna bring you in right now. Just like you got to use Da for a moment. He's being unbiased, remember? So Da's gonna come in.
Can I at least finish what I was saying?
You did finish. Pause.
I
Da.
didn't finish anything. I didn't even get to start.
Oh, when you addressed Da, I didn't interrupt you. I let you even speak to him.
You did
He said he's not being biased. So since he's not biased, I'm going to address him for just a quick second. And we'll go back to you. Da, we're looking at this verse. A new example that's brought up. He is trying to say he's not speaking about himself. In that verse, who's he speaking about?
You talking about verse 7,
yes.
Correct? He's talking about himself.
Seriously, come on now. How is he not talking about himself? Okay, you
All
could
right,
speak.
now can I go?
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm being unbiased
All right,
because I
so
was.
explain it.
Hold on, brother. Give me a second. Let me explain. I've read this verse before for years, and we always brought these questions up. Even other ministers who've been in the Bible, those who've known the Bible for years, they even said Paul was lying up and down the block. He did lie to the very.
Oh, you lying little rat. This is how stupid Muslims truly are. Well, that's all the pastors. That's what their answers are. Don't they know? That all the pastors say that Paul lied. That's what they all say. You stupid Muslim.
The verify God's kingdom. He even told it. If you go to 1 Corinthians, shout out to Rodeo because Rodeo was going just stole what I was about to say earlier. He even was lying. He did lie. When you, as a person who's looking for something and he's thinking about the hereafter, you have to think. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. If I'm putting the chips down, my life is on a lot of stuff about gambling, and I'm gabbling about my hereafter. You're looking at this verse and you're like, wait a minute, is he talking about himself? So he's lying.
Okay.
He said, if I should lie,
is it okay if I jump back in here?
God's kingdom, that's what he was saying. Period.
All right. Is it okay if I jump back in here, the kid?
Go ahead.
So thank you. So you said that you looked at this verse before for years, and you gave you had this false understanding that Paul was promoting sin for the religion, and now you, after going over this with me step by step, verse 5 and 6, you have this the new understanding, the correct understanding that no, he's not promoting sin for the religion. He's saying absolutely not. You shouldn't sin to show the goodness of God. So that your prior understanding of this was false. Now you have the correct understanding, and now we're going to continue so that you can have the correct understanding of verse 7 and 8. Okay.
Okay, I have a question before you go further.
No, please.
Hold on.
I want
so
to get to
should
this, please, if I can.
So who should I listen to? I'm gonna ask you this question. Now I'm just
You
gonna
should
be
listen
straight
to
up.
the scripture. You should listen
I
to the
listen to
scripture.
the scripture, but I'm
All right,
trying to
so
tell
let's
you the
let's
teachers that
I
I
got you.
have that had did this, they have degrees. They've been in
No,
this
no
30
problem.
for 40
No,
years.
no,
So
no
I should
problem.
listen to you today, correct?
You should
Now
just
what
listen
you're
to the
saying is
scripture and
plain.
just be honest.
My pastor, he's a scholar. He's been a Christian for
They
40
got
years.
degrees.
He done got his
They
degree,
got their certificates.
but he doesn't know his name.
They got their plaques on the wall. All right.
He's got that pastor. That pastor. Is that his name? That pastor?
That
Because
pastor is his
I
name, yes.
I've heard of that guy. A lot of Muslims use him. A lot of Muslims use that pastor. I was talking. That past. A lot of Muslims must know that pastor guy. I'm not sure.
Right.
Must
Well,
be some
see,
type of scholar.
it was a special day for him because now he was actually going over the verses with an imam, So I was here for him, Imam Logic, going through it step by step. For years he had a wrong understanding, and then today he got the correct understanding of the previous verses. So, God put him in my path today, Masha Yeshua.
Masha Yeshua. Masha Yeshua.
Honest with the text. That's all. So
I'm
I'm
being
nobody.
honest, brother.
I know I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying today, let's be honest with the text together and let's see if we can have the correct understanding.
Okay,
Okay.
let's see if you're gonna be honest with the text. Carry
So,
on, verse 7.
all right.
Start.
So now
A new
continuing
example, remember?
speaking rhetorically.
No, not continuing. A new example.
Continuing speaking
A new
rhetorically.
example.
I'm
A new
already
example.
getting cut off.
Go ahead.
This
Go
is
ahead. Go ahead.
incredible. Thank you.
It's a new example. You admitted it. Carry on.
It is a new example, but it's still rhetorical. So a new example is brought up now, the kid. So no, you're not supposed to sin for the goodness of the religion. Now let's continue. Here's a new example he brings up. A new example. But if through my lie, God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner? And why not do evil that good may come, as some people slanderously charge us with saying? Their condemnation is just. All right. So we just read these verses. Here's the question to kid. You're being honest. When he says, but if through my lie God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner? And why not do evil that good may come, as some people slanderously charge us with saying? Are these Paul's own words, or is he quoting people that put words in his mouth?
As I look at this, like I said, what he's saying people are putting in his mouth, correct? What did he do to make to say he was lying? That's the question.
Nope, it's just the message of the gospel, man. It's the message of the gospel, but forget that right now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves right now.
Why would we forget
Let's just
that?
let's just understand what he's saying immediately.
The most important
Because they're
message,
misunderstanding.
right?
They're misunderstanding what he's preaching. This is why they're accusing him of saying certain things. They're misunderstanding what he's preaching.
They're not. They're not.
So,
He's trying to tell them like it's totally.
So when he says this,
Sorry, I got a
are
phone
these
call.
words?
He says it's totally fine that I'm
Are
lying
these
because I'm using it for a
are
good
these
reason.
words? Hold on. Are these words his own, or are these what people are slanderously charging him with saying?
Who are these people?
That's another question. Please answer this first one.
So I just walked in and I'm asking for clarification. So if you want
Wait,
to let me
pause here,
contribute,
pause here,
I
pause
want to
here.
understand what's going on.
Oh, I got to pause here. Go ahead.
So he just said, I just walked in and I just want some clarification, correct?
That's what I heard.
So he's coming in at this point of the conversation and he's asking for clarification of the discussion.
Well, there's only one thing to do. I'm going to go back 15 seconds and let's hear it again.
What people are slanderously charging him with saying.
Who are these people?
That's another question. Please answer this
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one.
So I just walked in and I'm asking for clarification.
Okay, Mr. God Logic, I specifically heard him say, I just walked in and I'm looking for clarification. That's what I heard.
So when you're walking in and you're looking for clarification, you don't bring another question that leads to a different discussion. You ask, what was the question? Maybe ask me what my question was, so that you can see or ask, what is the argument? What are we debating? What's the verse we're talking about? That's what you do when you just walk in and you want clarification, if you're being honest. But later, you're going to see him say, oh, I was here the whole time, so I have an argument. So remember this part. I wanted to point this part out, and watch him lie later on, or watch him expose that he just lied.
Watch him pull a Muslim later on.
A Mohammedan.
A Mohammedan. Thank you very much. Big Brother Scott, God bless you, brother. He says right shoulder takeover. That's right. The right shoulder takeover.
So if you want me to
Okay, good.
contribute, I want to understand what's going on.
I got
Who
you.
are these people?
So the accusation is that Paul
No, I
is
wasn't
promoting
asking about
lying
the
for the
accusation.
religion.
I was asking about the
No,
people.
Eminem, you said that you just jumped in,
All right,
so
and
that
I'm
you don't
asking a
know where we
specific
are in the
question
conversation.
that I
Yeah,
need, not that you need, that I
well,
need to understand.
your question is another question that has nothing to do with the immediate
That's not what I
topic that
asked
we're
you.
talking about. Well, it's
That's
not what I asked. It's not what I asked.
no. Hold on, Lodge.
Okay, dude.
This
If
is what
if
I'm
you
trying.
don't know, just say you don't know. You don't have to be
No,
long.
it's not that. It's that you're jumping
Okay,
in
so
the
just
middle of
tell
a
me who
conversation
are
and you
these
don't know what
people,
we're
if you don't
talking
mind.
about. So if it's okay, you can get in where we're at instead
I've
of
been
trying to
listening
divert
for
it.
the past 20 minutes. I think I'm alright.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
He's been what, Chris?
No, I gotta back it up 15 seconds just in case I didn't hear that correctly.
I have to be
No,
long.
it's not that. It's that you're jumping
Okay,
in
so
the
just
middle of
tell
a
me who
conversation
are
and you
these
don't know what
people,
we're
if you don't
talking
mind.
about. So if it's okay, you can get in where we're at instead
I've
of
been
trying to
listening
divert
for
it.
the past 20 minutes. I think I'm alright.
What?
Oh, he did say he's been listening for the last 20 minutes. So did he just enter and is looking for clarification, or has he been in the room for 20 minutes and knows what the conversation is?
And is up here trying to redirect the conversation somewhere else, since he knows the argument. Interesting, Eminem. Should be ashamed of yourself, my guy. Caught.
Lying with it. Like, that wasn't even a 5-minute window of a
That
lie
that
either.
fast. Just hopped on stage. Oh man, Takia is halal in Islam.
Within 3 minutes, he'd already thrown one out. That was bad.
Within
1 minute. All right, let's continue, because this is where it gets funny.
Very good. Then.
Yeah, okay. So can you
answer the
just
question,
inform me who
please.
these people are?
I
No,
missed that
Can
too.
you,
Who are
can
these
you
people?
answer the
Which
question, please,
congregation? Is it a congregation? Just answer.
No. Can you guys answer the question?
Now, the reason why I wanted to do this is I wanted to get this part on the live stream, and this is hilarious to me, because X Planet acts like he's one of the leaders of the group of Muslims that are out there, because the way that he condemns Ishmael and these people, and he's admin with them and things to that. But everybody sees right now that X Planet just put on some high heels. He just put on a skirt. He grabbed some pom-poms, put his hair up in a nice little ponytail, and he's cheerleading for Eminem right now. That's right, people. X Planet isn't actually a Muslim apologist. He is a Muslim cheerleader. Maybe we should buy him a pair of high heels, a nice little skirt, and ship it over to him.
Yep.
So that he can keep cheering for his big bad Muslim friends.
Question, please.
We will discuss. We'll discuss the topic of the verse. But who are these people? Is it the congregation?
I asked a question. You guys are not about to skip over the
so
question.
if this guy knew jack squat about who it was, he would have known that it was actually the apostles and the Jews who were following. Hold on, I'm speaking. And he would have known that it was the Jews who were following people. Hold on, I'm speaking. Who were following Peter and James, whom he accuses of hypocrisy and he accuses of being dishonest in
That's a
Galatians
lie.
1 and 2, where he goes ahead and slanders the apostles, and
That's
then
a
he
lie.
compares.
Wrong.
Okay, you should wait because I can quote those things off the top of my head. So pipe
That
down.
would be beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so just because you can quote them off the top of your head, you idiot clown, doesn't mean that they're actually true. And yes, Paul did call Peter out because he was a hypocrite. Peter was being a hypocrite, was called out for it, and actually admitted to being a hypocrite. So I have no idea what he was talking about where Paul was doing something wrong. If a dear brother of mine is doing something that he shouldn't be doing, I'll call him out on it as well. And I hope and pray that if I'm doing something wrong, a dear brother calls me out on it as well. I know that Brother Jay did it about 3 months ago. I was going to take a day off work and I was going to call in and use a really bad reason. Jay actually messaged me. He's like, wait, you aren't actually going to do this because this is something we shouldn't be doing. Guess what? I didn't do it. I got called out on it, and I just, you're right. I'm wrong. And we moved on from there. But that's not something that Muslims are used to doing. Because you know that in Quran, if you slander somebody, you could actually be telling the truth about the person, but it just puts them in a bad light. So that is actually slander in Islam. So maybe because he's a Muslim, he sees it this way, but the actual real world, when we define words properly, nobody views this as Paul committing any type of sin or thinking that he's bigger than anybody else. He made a mistake, and Paul called him out on it, and they were good afterwards. I have no problem with what was going on.
We'll go through it verse by verse.
Let me finish. So
I
then
hope it's not a
Paul
monologue
ends up.
because you're taking over
Let
the
me
scripture
finish.
discussion.
Let me finish.
You interrupted me.
Let me
What are you
finish.
talking about?
No, I didn't.
Eminem, you literally
You went
interrupted
quiet
me when
for
I
a
was
good
talking
few
with Doc.
seconds. So I'm
He's
speaking now.
edifying. He's edifying the one with context that we're missing.
He's
I
not
did not know this
edifying
context.
anything.
There's those pom-poms swinging right there.
He's literally twisting and taking the
Okay.
conversation.
So if you think we're twisting, like I said, we can read it. It's not that hard. I told you I have those
No,
verses off
I'm
the
not
top
going to
of my
allow
head.
you to deter the
So
conversation, Eminem.
So then, hold on. So Paul then.
No, Eminem, can you answer the question that I put forth, please?
I'm talking. So
I was
Paul then
in
chapter
talking as
3
well.
of Galatians ends up calling
Eminem,
the
I was
Galatians.
talking as
I'm
well.
speaking, dude.
I think
So what actually is going on here? Actually, God Logic, do you want to explain what Eminem's doing right now, or?
Oh no, it's plain as day. The dude is literally trying to do almost what Rodeo did earlier. What Rodeo tried to do by get this off of and to other verses, to get the conversation off of the context of chapter 3, verse 5 to 8, and get it somewhere else. Bring up these new different arguments and things of this nature. He's trying to do it in a little bit more deceitful and elegant way than Rodeo, a little bit more smoother, but I can see it from from a mile away.
And I can also
It's the
see
Muslim shuffle.
I can also see what he's trying to do here as well. He is doing that, but there's also something else that he's doing because he's disrespecting you right now. So
Mhm.
what he's doing is he's trying to get you to the point where you're going to say something about Muhammad so that they can have you kicked out of the room for being an Islamophobe.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what Muslims do is they start trying to talk down to Christians because they know that if Danny Davis was in the room, it possibly could have happened. If Scott, Big Brother Scott, was in the room, he would have given it to him like they lived right then and there on the spot. And I may have even at the he's getting a little disrespectful now. So I may have even hit him up with a little bit of gin baby in there as well. But right now, you still hold your own. But that's what he's actually doing is he's trying to get you to disrespect Islam so that they can kick you out for being an Islamophobe.
Yeah.
You're silencing him.
I don't know if you were taught manners by your father or not.
Be a fair moderator, bro. I was literally in the middle of
just hold
talking,
on.
and he came up the stage and interrupted.
He's telling us that this is actually not just the congregation. This is specifically to apostles that he's having an interaction with.
I can care less what he's saying.
Learn about that.
I can care less what he's
You
saying.
don't have to care about what I say, but you sure as hell will care about what Paul says.
So X, is it okay if you be a fair moderator and tell him not to cut me off? He can do whatever he wants on his own time.
Silencing him because he brought up some stuff that's damning.
Well,
will you allow him to bring up his evidence? If you bring the evidence for
on his turn.
Then of course he can speak.
On his turn.
But your turn was already dealt with. But if through my line we are telling you, yes, Paul is speaking of himself.
On his turn.
Paul speaking of himself, we answered you. We're moving on.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yes.
You didn't answer.
Yes.
So I'm asking.
Doing it again.
I was asking the
Yeah, I said Paul was speaking of himself also, brother.
No, you said that way before we actually. I actually read you verse 8 and asked you the question.
Avery, I got a question for you.
Wait, no, there is no questions for me. There are no questions for me.
If we're gonna play this childish game where it's only you who gets to ask and nobody else.
Oh, I've actually been answering all the questions. I've actually been answering all the questions, right, X?
Okay, so can you answer my primary question?
Thank you.
Who are these people?
No, absolutely not. You're gonna wait until you answer my question.
We have. It's a 1-for-1. Again.
You're gonna wait until you answer my question.
So what's your question? Wait, hold on. What's your question?
Very good. And so, Da, I would love for you to answer this as well.
Talk to me,
I want all of you guys to answer this. You're in this too. You're in this too.
What's the question? Come on.
So here's the question. And so, Da, make sure that you give an answer too. So we just read the verse, and we'll read it again. He says, but if through my lie, speaking rhetorically again, but if through my lie, God's truth abounds to his glory, why am I still being condemned as a sinner? And why not do evil that good may come, as some people slanderously charge us with saying? Their condemnation is just. Now, here's my question. When he says, if through my lie, does God's truth abound in his glory, why should I be condemned? And why not do evil so that good may come? Are these his own words, or are these words that people slanderously charge him with saying? That's the question. Thank you, Eminem.
I've never had a problem with saying.
What was that? I gotta back that up just one more time. I'm not sure if we heard the whole answer correctly or not. We need to hear that one more time.
They come. Are these his own words, or are these words that people slanderously charge him with saying? That's the question. Thank you, Eminem.
I've never had a problem with saying the second option. So you just waste some time.
So he said the second option.
The second option. So it wasn't Paul's own words, but it was the words of the slanderous words that the people were saying.
Yep.
But Mr. God Logic, now this done throwing me for a loop now. Because for the last 30 minutes, X-Planet has been arguing the opposite point. So are you trying to tell me that right now, the guy that X-Planet put his little high heels, his little skirt on, the little pom-poms and his cheerleading for,
the one who he asked to come up for help, because we know that he asked him to come up.
He phoned a friend. He said he was phoning a friend, right?
Yep.
So you're actually saying the guy that he phoned a friend is actually refuting his actual argument.
That is correct. Eminem agreed with me that it was the slanderous charge against Paul, not his own words. And he said he's never had a problem with it being that the case that it's people slandering Paul with these accusations.
Never had a problem. Never had a problem. But Mr. X-Planet, you just done got refuted by your own Muslim friend after you sat there for 30 minutes with the stupid argument that nobody's ever accepted before in history, not even your own Muslim brother. How do you feel, you clown?
All of them. Rodeo, who also had his
Rhodey.
high heels on with his little tramp stamp on his back and his high skirt and thong.
Oh yeah.
That he was hopping on the bandwagon. Him too. And so Da as well, not on the extent of X Planet and Rodeo, but they're all that three was holding on this argument. So now I'm pressing them, since we have a Muslim who admitted that I was right. I want them all, the ones who actually started this argument, to also admit the same thing before moving on.
So what you're saying? Just wait a minute. So what you're saying is, huh? All right, let's continue.
It's for X and Da and Rodeo.
But no, but here's the problem. Their point is still correct. So now let me ask you a question.
No, it's not still
correct.
correct.
Hold on, I answered yours.
No,
Pay
but I
attention how he doesn't
want.
answer questions. Pay
Stick
attention
to
how
your
he
own
doesn't
words.
answer- He
But hold
doesn't
on,
answer
Stick to your own
questions.
words.
Eminem. It's not
Stick to your
just
own
for
words,
you
bro.
though,
Don't
because
Eminem me, bro. Just go ahead
Eminem,
and
this wasn't your argument then. This was not your argument.
Yeah. No.
So
It's
thank
the
you.
same.
So hold on.
No. It's the same line of reasoning.
Hold on
You'll
a
see.
second. Hold on a
If you
second.
let me
Pay
finish,
attention
you'll see
how
how
but
it's the
you
same
don't.
line of
answer
reasoning.
Hold
questions.
on a second.
He does not answer questions.
Hold on a second, guys.
It's a one
Nobody
for
has
one.
to hold on to Jack
This
squat.
was
You said
hold
if
on.
I answer the
It's a
question,
one
you're
for
gonna answer
one.
mine.
Oh, so
One for one.
now I'm
He
getting
answered
muted.
Now I finally muted because it's a
Yeah,
one
of
for
course
one.
you
You're
No,
not being
I'm
fair.
the one
don't know
getting
how to shut up
You
interrupted.
the
said
hell
to
up.
barely moderate.
Hey,
You said to barely
I'm
moderate.
letting you know if you
We
mute me,
answered.
bro,
It's a one
this
for
is
one.
over. I won't
Bro,
participate.
you're talking as if
I'm just
like
letting you
you're
know
the
right
center
now.
of the world. You can get
You
the
are
hell out of
forcing
here,
it.
bro.
Yeah, this is my
You are
show.
forcing
This is
it.
my
This
show.
is
You are
your show.
forcing
So
it.
you're a narcissist.
Yeah,
Oh
this is my
my
show.
god,
Answer the question.
such
This is
a
my show.
like such an
Eminem.
Yeah, see the
egotistical
arrogance in him.
child.
Eminem,
See that
please.
arrogance in him?
I
Eminem,
bet.
pose your
Yeah.
question, and he's gonna get
So
muted if he tries to
wait.
deviate from the
Well,
question.
you
It's a
won't
one
have a
for one.
conversation then. You won't
It's
have
a
a
Yeah, bro,
conversation.
get the hell out.
It's
one
as
for
simple
Get
as
the
that.
hell out. If you want to be
It's
a
a one
crybaby.
So the
for
kid,
one.
can you answer the question?
No,
X,
Dude,
can
what do
you
you mean?
answer the
Can you
question?
answer the
Rodeo,
question?
can you answer the question?
It's a one for one.
As
Okay.
Eminem agrees with
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Do you guys agree?
I'm just
aren't the people doing
Eminem agrees with me. The kid,
Yeah,
do you
that's
agree?
crazy. X,
I want
aren't
to
the
know,
people
X, do you
accusing
agree?
him of a certain thing? It's a simple yes or no.
No, you're I'm the one getting interrupted. It's my turn right now.
I agree that there is an argument going on between him and apostles, and the context has been brought forth by Eminem that it's the disciples that have the disagreement.
Oh,
go ahead.
what was that? I got to go back on that. I got to
This
go back
dude
on that.
is he is the lowest of the low.
He just done recycled his own argument. It's like, oh,
Yes.
I just got put in my place by explaining it. No. I got to hear that again though.
Yeah, X,
you guys agree?
X. Aren't the people doing?
Eminem agrees with me. The kid, do you agree?
That's crazy. X,
I want
aren't
to
the
know,
people
X, do you
accusing
agree?
him of a certain thing? It's a simple yes or no.
No, you're I'm the one getting interrupted. It's my turn right now.
I agree that there is an argument going on between him and apostles, and the context has been brought forth by Eminem that it's the disciples that have the disagreement. Can you stop interrupting?
No, go ahead.
Being accused of things, but I want to hear Eminem ask his question. He's saying that
So
they're
wait, just really quick.
He's justified. Again, you are suppressing that from going to 1 Corinthians 9:20. There's other things that we're going to back up that he did lie.
Sure, no problem.
Why don't you want to allow Eminem to ask his question? It's a one for one.
I fully want to. Trust me. I fully want to engage with Eminem. I do. I do. I want to fully. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. No, hold on a second. This is a conversation. I want to fully engage with Eminem.
Yeah,
But
this was like a
you
circus
brought
show.
up an
Honestly,
argument,
just kick the guy down.
and now Eminem agrees
like
with
you're gonna
me.
have to shut up, dude, honestly.
So can you admit that you
Eminem
are
does
wrong?
not agree with you. If you engage, go ahead.
Can you agree? Can you admit that you are wrong?
I am not wrong.
Okay.
And I will justify the room title.
Okay, but you.
Without lies, Christianity dies.
Right, I bet.
Interrupting.
It's justified. Can we just agree, like for the sake of convenience, that it's people accusing him of lying?
I've already admitted that.
Wait. So were you wrong?
Avery, he agreed. He agreed with that option.
This is X Planet's argument. This is what he started off with.
Bro,
X
can I
Planet.
speak?
Hold on, just a second. Eminem.
No,
Explain
nobody
it.
needs to hold on to
Can you
Jack's spot,
admit
bro. You've been
that
speaking the most.
that Paul wasn't talking about his own self lying to promote the religion, but
He has though. He literally has.
I'm not asking you that. You brought this.
You're not allowing us to show you.
You brought this verse
Avery,
up.
Avery, if you listen for an
Hold
extra
on,
second.
excuse me, Eminem. You're interrupting. I'm trying to get something out of X.
No, of course I'm interrupting. You're
All right, so
grandstanding.
just mute your mic up for a second.
You're ruining.
Because this,
You're ruining the room.
Just kick the guy down like he won't
I
shut
don't
up.
want to
no,
kick
the
him
room
out.
was fine
It's
before it came
It's
up.
proof that
We
he
was doing
can't
all
answer
right.
questions. It's a 1-for-1. He's asking me to
I've
fairly
been answering
moderate.
all the questions, X.
You're
Wait,
asking me to fairly moderate.
Have
The
you
moment I
answered a
do
single
so,
question
you're not
of mine?
allowing me to moderate.
Yeah.
I've been answering all the questions.
Which
X.
question of
And
mine
so
have you
now,
answered?
so now that I put forth questions
which
to you
question of mine
guys,
have you
it's
answered?
uncomfortable.
Which
You're
question of mine
uncomfortable.
have you answered?
So X.
The
You
one who's
said earlier
uncomfortable is
that,
the
Dude,
one
I don't
that
know if
this
you
was
have like
Paul
hearing problems.
talking
Which
about his
question of
own
mine have
lie.
you answered?
Explain it. You said that earlier that this was
Hold
Paul
up. Bro, give me
talking
my
about his
give me
own
my
lie.
like this guy honestly has
Talking
no
about his own
manners.
lie.
He's recording.
Trying to
He's
promote
recording for his
lying for the
channel.
religion.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay, bro, it's okay.
For his
Imam
audience, this is your
Imam
guy. Your boy
al-Ghazali
doesn't
said in
answer any
Ihya Ulum
questions.
al-Din. Habibi, Imam al-Ghazali said in Ihya Ulum al-Din that if you listen to a Zandiq or a Munafiq or a Kafir talk nonsense, you're sinning. So this guy is just doing jadal. It's a waste of time. It's all rhetoric.
I'm gonna give him
He's
one
not
chance.
actually spewing any benefit.
There we have it, people. You're not allowed to talk to Christians and Jews because as soon as they start talking and you start listening to them, you're sinning.
He asked me
Yeah.
when you came
I'm
in.
a waste
He
of
asked
time,
me
man.
to fairly moderate.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a waste of time.
Yeah, you are. You want me to repeat it a third time?
Why did
No, it's okay.
I got a
in the
question here. I got to
in the
pause
meantime,
this
my
stuff
Lord
here.
tells me not.
So you're such a waste of time, Avery. You're such a waste of time. He took time out of his day to raise his hand, to come up on stage, and to have a dialogue with you, but you're a waste of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's still there, by the way. He's still there.
that makes a lot of sense to me.
Oh yeah.
Cast my pearls among swine.
I'm muting both of you because I want to say one thing. He asked me to fairly moderate when you interrupted Eminem. What did we do? We gave him the mic. We let him ask his question for the 5th time. We answered it. He asked. Now it's our turn to ask, and he is not allowing that. So again, for anyone listening to this recording, this is your boy. This is how he operates. He wants to get kicked, and I'm not gonna kick him. So again, Eminem, the mic is yours. Go ahead and engage the discussion.
No, that's not how it is.
No.
No, that's not how it is.
That's right. You take over, Avery. It's your room.
Bro, you're coping. You're sucking on that copium.
I bet.
You're coping right now.
So
That's all it is.
we have Rodeo and X who were proven wrong. The kid
no
was
one's
going
proven
on.
Well, it's better that Avery sucking on the coping than your prophet sucking on something else, Eminem.
Rodeo,
And Rodeo
you're
just
wrong.
hopped on a
Rodeo, you're
bandwagon.
wrong.
Rodeo
Okay,
just
listen,
hopped on a
Avery.
bandwagon.
Yeah, Avery.
You came up on the
You
stage
should
and
stop
agreed
interrupting.
with me.
You
And
should
so
stop
all,
interrupting.
so
He
all
said it's
I'm
my
doing
turn.
is I'm
You should
holding
stop
X to
interrupting.
the fire.
It's not
I'm
your
holding
turn.
you to the fire, X Planet.
Not your turn.
Yeah, dude,
No,
just
it
put
was
him
my
on.
turn.
Like,
You
You got your
tried to cut
answer.
my
It's not
turn
your
short.
turn. It's our
Put him
turn.
down. Put him down, bro.
No, it is my turn
He
because
wants
I'm
to get
asking
put
you
down.
a question.
Yeah,
seriously.
Put him down, bro. Put him
Eminem
down,
gave his
bro.
answer, but I was talking to Rodeo.
It's just disrespectful to someone's intelligence. I'm running out of patience.
I don't care about
We
your
don't have to
patience,
tolerate
dude.
such
It's
nonsense.
your turn.
You don't
I'm gonna
come.
keep
No, we're
muting you. Go
trying
ahead,
to
Eminem.
teach.
Ask your question. Ask your question, Eminem.
Okay. Well, they're
Okay.
muting me again,
So if-
guys. So
if-
this conversation's over.
Ask your question.
Get the hell out.
Ask your
Nobody
question.
cares. Nobody cares. Honestly, get
Dude,
the hell
you're
out.
you're
Ask
not
your
an
question. He
apostle,
has to
right?
answer.
You're not
He
a
has to
prophet.
answer
You're not
because he
Jesus.
asked
Get
for
out of
fair
here.
moderation. No. This is typical no logic in his camera.
No. If
Okay.
the true
So
if
now
the true
I'm gonna
genuine
pose the question.
Christians want to stay here and listen,
Now
let them
I'll
listen.
pose the question. So here's the question: if Paul was being accused of lying and he thinks that that's false, then why is it that he literally starts accusing the apostles, like Peter and James, who are the head of Jerusalem, who were appointed leaders by Jesus himself, according to the Gospels and according to Acts and according to Paul himself in 1 Corinthians and Romans, where he goes ahead and mocks them, where he goes ahead and misquotes the Old Testament
What?
on purpose and make.
All right, he's an idiot. Paul doesn't misquote the New Testament. He doesn't mock them. He rebukes them.
He doesn't. Why is he adding James into that mix?
Yeah, I don't understand the James part at all.
Am I missing something? Because to my knowledge, what I read, he specifically addressed Peter when he came with others when he was acting differently with the Gentiles. James was not in that group.
Well, what would happen was Peter was sitting with the Gentiles and he was talking, and as soon as the Jews come in, he would withdraw from the Gentiles and go sit with the Jews.
Where does James come up in that?
I never read James in any of the stories of it.
So why is he lying? Because he's a Muslim. That's what they do.
That's what they do, is they have to. The only reason he had to do this lie after you'd left is because of how bad you destroyed them when you were there.
That's crazy. I was just chilling up there, just talking to them too, and that's destruction.
All right, so we're going to continue this video right now because we need to see one more person come up to the stage.
Just so he proves that the law has been abolished. For example, in Galatians 1:8. So you can bring somebody who can go ahead and explain that.
Oh, they bring the right person too.
I don't know why you guys got to act like a bunch of cowards. I say,
dude, you're the same, bro. Like it's all.
I say, that is me.
You can't even speak Greek. You can't even speak Greek, bro.
Tell Left Pac not to hide in the audience. Get
the hell out.
Get Left Pac, Shabibi Lewis.
What?
No, I got to do that again. I'm going back. I got to play that again. Danny, you're a classic, man. That was awesome. I got to play that again.
I don't know why you guys got to act like a bunch of cowards. I say,
you're the same, bro. Like it's all.
I don't know why you guys got to be a bunch of cowards. I say, not allowed to you Abduls. Right off the hop, you give it to him, Danny. All right, but move back last time.
I don't know why you guys got to act like a bunch of cowards. I say,
you're the same, bro. Like it's all.
I say, that is me.
You can't even speak Greek. You can't even speak Greek, bro.
Tell Left Pac not to hide in the audience.
Just get the hell out.
Get Left Pac, Shabibi Lewis.
What?
I had to play Danny's part. I really did. I really had to play Danny's part. Danny, you're awesome, man. But this is what happens. They want to treat our brother like they did that on the stage. They're lucky that only Danny was the one that come on the stage, because we all had our hand raised. They just picked one. That's all they did. But it was nice to see that they did pick the right one, because Danny said what we were all going to say anyways.
You said that so was there somebody that came up after, or one of them that would defend? You said defended me or something like that?
Yeah, it was
Shadim Lewis came up. He decided to come up when I left. Beautiful.
Yeah,
he did. He's something else. But yeah, you said what happened?
I'm just trying to find it here. It was
It wasn't nobody that was already on the stage. It wasn't Da or DA.
I think it was DA, but I can't. I'd have to go through my recording that I have after we'd left, because it's only a 30-minute one, and I'm not quite sure where it is right now. So what I'll do is tonight, after we get off this, or tomorrow morning, I'll go through it and I'll find it, because somebody was in there. They're like, you guys are being rude, and they just went off on them. They got kicked rather quickly. So yeah, I'll go through and I'll see who it is. I know Beanie was in. Well, Beanie stayed in there though, Danny, and he was actually debating them. So it could have been Beanie, but I'm gonna take a look at it. But anyways, we've been up here for a couple hours now, God Logic. What's your takeaway that you want people to get from the discussion that you had with X Planet, Rodeo, DA, and the real or the fake Slim Shady?
Yeah. That no matter what, the number one rule when a kafir, a disbeliever, a mushrik, a pagan, brings up an argument against the gospel from the Bible, number one rule is always to read it in context. I don't care if they're pressuring you to give an answer right away. Let's say you don't have an answer right away or something like that. You read the context and you take your time reading the context with them. Okay, you are on your own pace, and as you saw when I was on the stage, it was my show. It was my stage. They went at the pace I wanted to go at. I didn't go at their pace. So you stay in you don't be pressured to do anything you don't want to do or pressured to do anything. You comfortably and slowly and methodically use wisdom and have a discussion methodically, and that's it. All you got to do is just, know your word a little bit, and you see what happens when you bring up verses that they're quoting. You see what happens when they're pushed with the verses. They can't handle it, and they start foaming at the mouth and fuming, start probably boo-booing on themselves.
Yeah, and the thing that I want everybody to pick up from here as well is that we all know that Muslims have their D-Dot combat kit. So what we have to do is we have to get them out of that D-Dot combat kit. And I see that Avery did it very nicely within this discussion. Because if you've noticed, X-Planet wanted to dig back down into that combat kit every 5 seconds and pull out something else.
Mm-hmm.
But God Logic stayed focused, and this is I say this almost every time that I see people doing this. It's like when you're in these discussions, you got to have blinders on. Like when the horses are walking out in the parades and stuff, they got the blinders on so they don't get distracted. It's the same thing. We got to have those blinders on so we don't get distracted. We got to have tunnel vision. We've got to see the goal, and we've got to get to the goal. We don't need to be straying off into left field, over into right field. We need to go a straight line. We need to get to the finishing goal, and that's presenting the gospel, which in this conversation, it started out that X-Planet and DA were saying that we can lie for our religion and it's okay. At the end of the discussion, he actually agreed that, well, that verse doesn't say it, but you can still lie for your religion and it's okay. It's just in other places. But for this conversation, their argument that they used for Romans chapter 3, verse 7, they can literally use no more. No more. And that's what I wanted to highlight as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautifully said. They cannot use that anymore unless they're completely and fully, and as we already know, utterly dishonest. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if X-Planet brings that verse up again.
Yeah, I know it'd be.
We'll
nice.
just replay this clip of Eminem agreeing with me.
That's right, and I want everybody out there to take clips as well. And if X-Planet's on Clubhouse and he starts talking his trash, all you gotta do is play that on your phone and just let it come through. let him refute himself while he's in the room. But with saying that, I think I am going to shut her down. We have been here for a couple hours. It's getting a little late.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, dear brother God Logic, for putting out the time to be with us this evening. But I do have one question for you, because it's been a few weeks, brother. When we get in the God Logic live stream back on Tuesdays?
Yeah, we'll be back next week for sure.
All right.
Probably also going to stream probably Friday as well. Maybe even tomorrow. Tomorrow and Friday, since we missed 2 weeks. So.
All right. So everybody that's been waiting and patiently waiting for the God Logic live streams on the Tuesday night live streams, the God Logic Project, he will be back next Tuesday. Just the dear brother's been busy. He's been having a lot of videos coming up. He's been doing a lot of editing. He's got his home life. He's been doing a lot. And we do thank you, Mr. God Logic, for everything you do. God bless you, dear brother. With saying that, God bless everybody in the chat. I hope you have a wonderful night. And we'll see you either on God Logic's next live stream or my live stream coming up this later weekend as well. God bless, and stay safe.